I just got out the shower.
All right, well, we waiting on you, sir. I also want to bring up the fact that LeBron got some FAMU shoes coming out. I think the LeBron 7s.
LeBron sponsors family basketball.
Well, I mean, you should bring that to the podcast. We did not know.
If you look at family basketball, that's all they wear. It's LeBron's.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have a they just shot that sold out. They're the same thing.
Yeah, these coming out. I think it's LeBron 7s. It's coming out sometime in 2023.
Yeah. LeBron is a sponsor for FAMU basketball.
He even said that with his chest twice, TP. To make sure we knew.
Well, that's what we do. Over my way. What?
Well, I ain't say nothing. We just waiting on you to come in. All right. Well, when you log in, we'll get this thing started. I'm not. Yeah. I don't get in between marital issues. All right.
Sound like he rearranging furniture out there.
I mean, but like, he is really not. And honestly, he's really not that loud.
Nah, not today.
I mean, anytime, except for when he get mad at you, then like he let it be known that he upset. That be the funniest.
He gets loud too.
Oh,
we be like, shit, if he got kidnapped, they would probably bring him back. Like, nah, y'all got it.
No, we sorry. We was not prepared. Do DK still stream a lot? Or he just stream every now and then?
Seems like it's been every now and then. I have not seen him.
You know, that underwear.
I know he's been working at Amazon. So
oh yeah, that Amazon money got him.
Yeah, he's been grinding.
He seen that overtime check. He seen that overtime check was over. We got to talk about the Jets. Oh wait, it's who's playing tonight? Oh, the 49ers in Seattle. It's playing tonight. I've lost 3 fantasy games in a row. I went from guaranteed win the league to injuries have ended my season. Mike White is my starting quarterback.
Oh yeah, just go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pack it up because ain't no way.
If Mike White is your saving grace, it's...
Oh wait, no. I take that back. I got Purdy. Brock Purdy is my starting quarterback. Oh, it's been, man. I don't normally have to make a bunch of. Additions to the squad, but This year? Yeah. Yeah, I'm even projected to lose this game.
Damn.
Nick Chubb. I don't know what happened to Nick Chubb. He just fell off the cliff. Oh, this dude got Brandon Jacobs. It's a wrap. But he got Deshaun Watson. I'm fine. Oh, no. I might got a shot. He picked the Adam Thielen. No, I think I got a shot. I think I got a shot. I don't know. And Miami is my defense, and it's cold. I might have to make some changes. But yeah, Brock Purdy. We gotta talk about Mike White. Mike White said he playing. What you heard?
Oh, he's a gamer.
I know I got hit a little bit. I'm all right.
They really should have won last week. They had too many opportunities.
He got folded. And anytime you put in, like, I don't know how Joe Flacco's still in the league. Like, the skinny is really getting on it. He just getting paid.
Yeah, perhaps.
He is just getting paid. But it was another backup quarterback. Somebody went down. And he immediately went down. He was like, "Nah, I don't get paid for this." I forget who it was. Oh. NCAA has named the successor to Emmert.
So who?
Which I don't. It ain't gonna be no changes. Like, that ain't gonna change nothing. Mm-hmm. Oh, UCLA has been approved to go to the Big Ten.
Well, we kind of felt that was coming.
Oh, wait, what? An effort to recognize college football and basketball players, University of Southern California, as employees. What? The National Labor Relations Board has directed Los Angeles Regional Office to pursue charges of unfair labor practices against USC and the Pac-10. This came out at 5:52. If they are successful, athletes who want to play basketball, men's basketball, women's basketball, or football at any private college in the NCAA will be granted rights as employees.
Employees get paid.
They get paid now.
Just thought I would.
They got to give them insurance.
Just thought I would throw that out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, he made it.
Guess who's back in the motherfucking house?
Oh, I guess we got to talk about Celebration Bowl, and I got to ask the question if it's even important now that Deion got a Power 5 job. But I don't know how long we're gonna be calling the Pac-10 Power 5. So let me see if I got any comments on the chick dig the long ball thing. Because I feel like
chicks dig the long ball.
I mean,
and the only reason why we know this. Yeah.
Nope. We already recorded. Nope. Don't say it. Nope. Don't say it.
I did come in kind of late.
I have to check a box every time. I put up a video that said, no, this content isn't necessarily made for kids, but kids are okay to listen to it. So let's try and keep it that way a little bit.
I'm just saying.
All right, I guess we're ready to go. Let me get a little work on a little close up. All right. Oh, I got a yellow light. Hold on a second. Also, if you ever want to break a man down, that plantar fasciitis, yeah, it's for real. It's not bad.
I got it in both feet.
I got it in both feet, but I get it more on my right foot. And yeah, when I need it not to be going on while I'm trying to make all this money, it decided, yo, we finna give you some pain for the next couple of days, so you just gonna have to deal with it. So
You know what's better than going out and making money?
staying in and making money.
You're a smart man.
No, I used to do it. I just at some point, I don't know, I became disillusioned with programming, corporate programming, but that's another story for another day.
I'm just happy today was the last day of the semester.
Oh yeah.
I finished.
And last week they sent you a nice little check. Say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Here you go.
With a 3.7 GPA.
That's you know what? That is to be commended. That is to be commended. Yeah, because my GPA was never that. It was never that. It was in the threes, but it wasn't. Yeah. I know. Had it not been for the help of a couple people, I'd been graduating. Thank you, Lottie.
Bam. That's how I graduated high school.
Ooh.
I was just glad to get up out of there.
My mama showed up to the school to make sure I was graduating. She wanted to make sure. Because otherwise it would have been smoke in the city. Oh, all right, fellas. Guess we'll go ahead and get this thing on started. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we're back. It's a little chilly down here, but we're back. Go to this gathering, Old Men Podcast. Myself, Marlo, come to bring you the good news. All right, y'all. I guess we can. It's a couple things happened. Last week. Marlo did some apologizing to Bucks fans, and in the spirit of confessions, I too have a confession to make.
I apologize as a Buck fan. I didn't apologize to no Buck fan. I just apologize because I, as a Buck fan, did something I never do. So I felt it manly of me to accept and acknowledge that what I did was not character-like. But I ain't apologizing no goddamn buddy.
Well, see, my situation is a little different as the resident soccer fan on the podcast. I feel like I owe Messi an apology because I have been dragging him and saying that he is LeBron and all his UEFA Cups and all his league championships is because he always had like a stacked squad around him. And I said that with my chest. I said Ronaldo is a better soccer player because Ronaldo do more with less. Howsoever, because stats don't lie, right?
Women lie. Men lie. Stats don't lie.
So I was watching the World Cup and they were talking about all the goals that Ronaldo and Messi scored. And Messi has scored more World Cup goals than Ronaldo. However, neither one of these dudes won a World Cup.
Until
Messi has an opportunity on Sunday to win one. But right now, neither one of them has won a World Cup. But Messi has more goals. Messi has more soccer version of MVP. The whole little the foot trophy. So, or the golden boot. That's what they call it, the golden boot trophy. So my bias did not allow me to call Messi the GOAT. But you know, when you do your research, you find out stuff and you like enlighten on stuff. And then looking at stats and accolades and everything else, I can't call Messi the GOAT either. Because there is a guy who has similar goals that got 3 World Cups. He ain't got 1 World Cup. And he got 2 World Cups. He got 3 of them things. So I was like, I can't call Messi the GOAT. But I will give Messi credit because on this podcast, we was talking about how he was getting heckled because they lost the match to Saudi Arabia. And Messi basically said, fuck you and your feelings. We in the finals. Let's go get it. So that's my apology.
Are we still talking about soccer? I don't think nobody should have to apologize for talking about damn soccer.
I was trying to find some words.
I have a 13-year-old who is a hell of a goalie. That's about the only soccer player I will talk about.
I'm normally not at a loss for words. I didn't know what to add to that. If we base GOAT status on your ability, if we base GOAT status on your ability to win championships, and you have not won a championship, then you cannot be in the GOAT conversation. That's just my take on it. And I know how, elusive World Cup championships are, but you ain't got one, my guy. Not a scratch. You ain't got no all with a World Cup, and that's the biggest stage in your sport. Imagine if LeBron James had 13 Eastern Conference Finals victories, but no NBA Finals victories. What would we say? He ain't the GOAT. You ain't got one? Kevin Garnett was arguably one of the best power forwards to ever play the game, but he was not going to get his credit until he won one.
And cried like a baby when he got one.
He cried like a baby because it was like, remember when Steve Young was like, I got the monkey out my back?
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett experienced something very similar. For him, he had to go to a whole nother team, match up with 3 other Hall of Famers, but That's neither here nor there. We're not gonna take nothing away from him. But he finally got him one. Now, if Messi wants to ever be considered the GOAT, he got to win, and this is your chance. If you are in the driver's seat, then you hold the keys to your own fate.
But what Messi will never achieve is 3 World Cups. Because
Probably
one,
not.
he's too old.
But you just gotta get one because we don't
You
base
gotta
it
get one.
we don't base
And
it solely on that. But if you ain't got none, then you can't even be invited to the table. We're not even
if
gonna talk about none of the other shit you did.
if he don't get one this time, with the French team all getting attacked by the flu virus mysteriously
That
before
thing
this
went
match.
rampant, didn't it?
This shit is just he just don't need to win.
That's my take on it. Before we can invite you to the table, talk about GOAT status, you gotta have some hardware.
So now, what we also possibly are watching is a GOAT in the making because Mbappe has already won a World Cup. And he currently has 33 international goals. In his senior soccer career, he has 118 goals. And I know there was a lot of stuff made about, an African team will not be not have representation into the World Cup finals. If you look at the French team, Mbappe is an African name. There are about 5 dudes on that team that are of African descent. Africa is well represented. We don't even need to revisit that.
I think it's a misnomer because just because you're not representing your country, that doesn't mean that you're not from that country. And I get it. If we had a bunch of, Puerto Ricans and Mexicans on the U.S. soccer team, they would still be holding their Mexican flag or their Puerto Rican flag because they are gonna pay homage to their roots. That's just how it is. But as an individual country, we don't know about a lot of the inner workings of the government and their economic situation. They may not be able to put a team together that's competitive enough to make a run in the World Cup. And there's a lot of countries in Africa that are still rebuilding from the mandates and the colonization of Europe in the early 1900s. They still haven't fully recovered. So it's safe to say that the economic situation in some parts of Africa can lead to them not having a team. But that doesn't mean that they don't have athletes. One of the best athletes in the NBA is from Africa. Hakeem Olajuwon was from Africa. So you can miss me with that.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna stay on this too long because I know Marlon ready to move on. But
give y'all a history lesson real quick.
For real. And I wanted to get that out the way early. So one of the stories we missed last week. It was 11 years ago that David Stern nixed the CP3 trade to the Kobe Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
And y'all tell me how y'all feel, because I have always felt some type of way about that.
Well, the thing of it was that Chris Paul was the only draw in New Orleans at the time. There wasn't anything else in New Orleans that was going to sell tickets.
The Saints, they still had Drew Brees.
I'm talking about basketball.
We can't say that they didn't have anything.
But they had
Drew Brees.
I'm talking about the basketball team.
I'm talking about the city.
I'm talking about selling tickets to go watch a basketball game. Chris Paul would have left. Ain't no way that stadium get full.
He still left.
And that was because
But this was the thing.
He forced them to get to trade him.
But here's the thing, Marlo. The NBA was running the franchise.
Yeah,
the NBA made that deal.
They've been running the New Orleans when they changed the name to the damn Pelicans.
So
this ain't
no, somebody bought it later, but bought it later. But at that time, I'm like,
let's change our name to a bird that's too dumb to get off the beach when a hurricane comes. Let's do that.
And I didn't see very many pelicans in New Orleans when I was there. So you're not gonna see them. You gotta get on a boat and go into the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, you gotta go.
So I don't even know how that name came to be.
It was interesting. That's what I'm. Oh, whoa. The
veto of
New Orleans
trade
franchise moved. Yeah,
but
can you imagine being David Stern?
It's the veto of the trade, but yet we let Kevin Durant go to a 73-win Warriors team.
Yeah.
Not even 2 years later. There's some things that we just, when you say make it make sense, there ain't gonna be no sense in that. You can say what you want. Oh, New Orleans, they was gonna take a hit financially with their team, and we didn't want the Lakers to be overloaded. Tell you what, Michael Jordan called David Stern and was like, "Hey man, you can't let this happen. He gonna pass me."
Kobe, I would probably. Oh man, yeah, that was gonna be crazy. Chris Paul, Kobe Bryant. Did they still have Lamar Odom there?
I don't know. I think he had hit the Kardashian curse around that time.
Yeah, I think he might have been in Dallas, but they still had the Spaniard.
Who,
they
Paul?
Still had him.
They had Paul, yeah.
They still had they still had him. So man, oh man, that would have been a problem.
I mean, here's the thing. We can speculate all we want, but you still would have been putting two ball dominant players on the court at the same time. I'm not even 100% sure it would have worked.
You know what the rule is. Rule 1, pass the ball to Kobe. Rule 2, see rule 1.
No. Kobe liked to bring it up.
Kobe was gonna always be out for Team Kobe.
All right. Here's a different scenario. Michael Jordan could have played with Gary Payton. Do we think that would have worked?
No.
Same scenario.
Michael, Gary. Actually, no. I think it would work. Same
scenario. Same scenario. Gary Payton was a defensive point guard, but he was ball dominant. Chris Paul, defensive point guard, ball dominant. Michael Jordan and Kobe are scorers who like to bring the ball up.
Yeah,
that's why you don't. That's why it didn't matter who was the point guard in Chicago. out of Steve Kerr, B.J. Armstrong, Paxson. Didn't matter. To win with a player like Kobe, you don't bring in a Chris Paul. You bring in somebody that's gonna play their role and shoot, and you get them a big man that's gonna clean their glass and get the ball back out to them. That's how you win, and that's how they won with Paul Gasol because he was killing on the glass. Get the ball back out to Kobe.
I think
Yeah.
the only team that Kobe was not the alpha on was when he played with Shaq.
I mean, you got a guy grabbing 30 points, 20 rebounds. It's hard. You know, you go fall. That's a big shadow, bro. That's a big shadow.
Saying.
That's a big shadow.
He the only player that could have did it like that. I think that could have been the alpha on the team with Kobe.
Shaquille O'Neal is the most unstoppable force to ever step foot on a basketball court.
Facts.
There was nobody physical enough, athletic enough at that size to even compete with Shaquille O'Neal. But funny enough,
can afford to give a Mack truck a Porsche engine.
Funny enough, he struggled with Rafe LaFrance.
Because Rafe didn't move. That was the whole thing about Rafe. Rafe did not move. He could shake left, shake right. Rafe was just stuck.
He was just long, too. He just long.
Where he was at.
Look, Rafe was just in the way.
You ain't gonna go for the head fake? My legs don't work like that.
He struggled with Akeem Olajuwon also.
He did not. He struggled defensively because he couldn't stop him.
He couldn't stop
Hakeem.
Yeah, everybody.
But they both scored.
Everybody struggled with Akeem. Like, that's not. Everybody struggled with Akeem.
But Akeem never got in foul trouble against Shaq.
No, because he played disciplined basketball.
He wasn't basketball.
He wasn't reaching. He goes straight up, and he was athletic enough that if he went straight up, he was probably going to block his shot. That was like a shooting guard at 6'11".
Yeah, he's different.
Where do you think Kobe got his moves from? Everybody want to say he got all of them from Michael Jordan. He'll say he got some moves from Michael.
Nah.
But that turnaround he did, that was Hakeem's move.
That was unstoppable. Especially with his elevation.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
That dream shake was unbelievable. And Kobe did a lot of the same moves that Hakeem did. He modeled if you take MJ, a little bit of Hakeem, a little bit of the Iceman, a little bit of James Worthy, throw it into a pot, you get Kobe. And you're not gonna stop him. I promise you. You're not gonna stop him.
So the NBA trying to get kind of heated up, and apparently there is rumors going around that the Pelicans are the best team in the West because they got Zion. And I'm gonna let y'all go because I don't want to get the hate that I've been getting when I start talking about a particular player.
All I'm gonna say is Steph Curry still plays basketball, so relax.
And all I'm gonna say is, how many seasons have Zion Williams been in the league that he finished?
That part.
So I don't know why people should never get that excited about what some player is doing in December in the NBA. Are they good? Do they have a formidable team? Hell yeah. But you take one of those pegs out of that wheel, we suck again.
They'll be
It's just
sitting on
that,
bricks.
it's just that simple.
They'll be sitting on bricks. But my thing is, it's okay to be good. Until you win, you are not great. They have not won. You have not beat the best historically here recently in the West in the playoffs when it matters. 8 teams make the playoff. 8 teams can say that we've been playing the best because they made it to the second tier, of the season. You play 82 games. All right, now we take the top 8 teams. If you ain't in that top 8, then you're not even in the conversation. But if you in that top 8 anywhere, you can make a vibe for, hey, we played good. We might have had some injuries here, and we bounced back, and we in the dance. That's why they say when you get to the playoffs, it's 0-0. We start over.
Wow. I am no fan of Zion Williamson. Not because I don't like his style of play. I need to see him make it to May. Let's just get to May. Then next year I can kind of assess what type of player you're going to be long term. But just about every first round draft pick always look good October to December. Every time. It's when that grind started to hit, and now you got to start digging in and playing actual defense. That's when we get to see who you is. And why Brock Purdy only got 13 yards? Man, my fantasy league is just destroyed. I might as well go ahead and walk away from the season.
Start selling
All
players.
right.
Hey, what y'all need, man? Everybody.
For real.
Everything for sale.
This is a sad situation.
5 passports, I'm never going to jail. Go ahead.
So TP, you told me that Tua had a bad game the other week. It seems like the NFL has caught up to the Miami Dolphins, and Miami got to go play in the cold. And I want to preface this by saying this. Even the Bucs, before they was in the NFC South, had issues when they had to go play Green Bay. And Warren Sapp would play well, but the offense never did play well in Green Bay. And all the time I was a fan of the Bucs, they never played well in Green Bay. They never made it to the Super Bowl until they went to the NFC South. So Florida teams in the NFL do not do well in cold weather. And just so everybody get an understanding, Dan Marino had a losing record to a dude named Ken O'Brien. Nobody will know who that dude is, but he had a losing record to this dude. And they was in the same draft. Weather matters. You got to be able to run the football. And Tua does not have a great record in 55-degree weather. What are you going to do with this snow? And your coach running around here hollering with little T-shirts on talking about, I wish it was cooler. And he got on a sweatshirt underneath.
Do we remember there was a playoff game played at Soldier Field between the New Orleans Saints and, of course, the Chicago Bears? And it was cold as hell, snowing. Reggie Bush wanted no parts. They went up to Chicago and got embarrassed. And they were actually favored, or should have been favored, if they played anywhere else.
Rex Grossman was the quarterback.
Rex Grossman, Thomas Jones, Cedric Benson, along with Urlacher, Briggs, Mike Brown, and that Bears defense. And can't forget Peanut. Peanut changed. Look, first drive of the game, punched the ball out. The ball hard as a rock. Saints don't know that you need to hold it with 2 arms the whole game. Peanut can't punch it out. He was used to the cold. They wasn't.
Mm-mm.
I say that to say this, though. Green Bay, y'all let some Cali boys come up there. God damn it. Aaron Rodgers, you have disgraced the name of the frozen tundra. We can't even call it the frozen tundra no more because ain't nobody scared of the frozen tundra. You let porn star Jimmy come in your house in January.
And the
Buccaneers the year before. For a chance to go to the Super Bowl, we had an NFC championship game in Green Bay in January, and y'all didn't score a touchdown.
Can y'all stop telling me this dude is so talented? This dude is so great. Like,
who, Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, stop telling me that, man.
His arm talent is undeniable when you watch him play, but regular season stats don't mean shit when it comes to the playoffs. Ask Tony Romo. Yes, he just got shot. He wasn't even in the conversation.
And every Dallas quarterback that's been playing the last 20 years.
Since Troy Aikman. I mean, Romo was there for 12, 13 years of it. But, I want to say that Tony Romo was one of the best regular season quarterbacks that we've seen in the last 20 years. But the man couldn't win in January. Now he commentating with no hardware to show for all of his good works.
Tony Romo is probably one of the smartest quarterbacks to play in the NFL. He knows the game of football.
If he was smart, he would have left Dallas.
Well, the money was the draw.
You want to fight?
So I started this segment out taking shots at Miami fans because I owed him one, and then TP just decided that he was gonna shoot at the Dallas Cowboys. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe it was that close loss they just had. I don't know. Send all your hate mail. Stop DMing me. Send it to TP.
It was a conspiracy.
TP shot you.
I'm convinced the Texans were not trying to win that game. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way we get inside the 5 twice and not score 1 point in the last 5 minutes of the game. There is no fucking way.
But
they did not try to win that game. They tried their best to make sure they let Dallas win.
But you got a shot at Bryce Young.
We still would have had a chance at Bryce Young.
That's true.
We have one win in December. Do you hear me? It is December 15th.
Oh.
And we have one win.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Cleveland's draft pick that y'all got is going to be a good pick also because they are stinking up the arena as well. So you got some pieces in place.
We need a quarterback. We need an offensive coordinator who's not afraid to call plays. We need a defensive coordinator that understands that if you don't stop the run, you are going to lose. We can be getting toted on, and I still look and see 7 people in the box. That tells me that they aren't adjusting. They're just letting it happen. Just leave, getting your ass whooped. I'm just gonna lay here and let it happen. I ain't gonna fight back. Throw my hands up.
I just want everybody to remember that TP had me on the Davis Mill hype train, and now TP is off the Davis Mill hype train.
Look, man, I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. He had a pretty decent season last year. But when I say the regression was real, and I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator to blame, because when you just show your quarterback that you have no confidence in him, it's hard for you to expect him to go out and perform at a high level. Not to mention, we don't have no receivers. We out there with practice squad guys drawing shit in the sand and trying to see if it worked. And when that don't work, we just hand the ball off to 31.
Yeah. Yeah. So to TP's pain to my pain, I'm trying to figure out why we still got a head coach. I'm still trying to figure out why the Raiders still have a head coach. We lost to Baker Mayfield on a 98-yard drive on a motherfucker that showed up to work 15 minutes before the game and ran the 2 minutes.
Was that you that said no, that wasn't you. There was a dude on Twitter, he said, if Baker Mayfield goes 98 yards, I'm burning my house down. When I say they let him have it, oh my God.
Yeah, no, that wasn't me.
They said this tweet aged like milk. Like, bruh.
There is, I don't care how bad your secondary is. I don't care how bad your defense is. We had them stopped. TP, this is a penalty that I did not know exists. You can't slap the ball out the quarterback's hand after the play. I didn't know that. I was unaware.
This is a delayed game.
So that went from...
You can't knock the ball out of anybody's hand. That's unsportsmanlike.
That went from a 3rd and long to a 1st down.
Yeah, it should have been.
And then it went downhill from there. And all you had to do was throw one pass and run the ball. Game over. You put the best running back in the league at fullback and tried to sneak him into a hole. Who didn't know he was getting the ball? He lead the league in rushing by 300 yards. Who didn't know he'd get the ball? I don't know. And as long as Rock Yashin is not playing corner, we're going to lose again. Because the other dude out there in the nickel, that might be Ash out there playing nickel corner for the Raiders right now. It's bad. It is bad. But I am not alone in my suffering. TP.
You got to change the name. Gathering of the Trash Team podcast.
I'm not, but how you like?
Look, we might have lost. But it wasn't 35-7.
I think we still number one in our division. We still got a playoff hole.
That is not. Hold on. So listen, that is not the hill you want to die on. That is not the hill you want to die on. If that's the hill you want to die on, fine, Marlo. Yes, y'all are first in your division.
And we will have a home game for playoffs. And I'll be there.
Yeah. And you will. And y'all will give them another 38 points.
They are about to change the playoff landscape because of how bad the NFC South is.
They could change it all they want to next year. But as of this year, we in there.
CP.
I mean, not if the Panthers catch fire.
What they gonna catch fire?
The Panthers gave away their whole team.
And
the whole team and one game back.
And one game back.
They gonna win this week?
I don't even know who they play this week. Who do they play this week? I know who ain't gonna win this week.
Who?
The Bucs.
Who? The Bucs ain't gonna win?
I mean, hold on. You know they play the Steelers, right?
No, we play Cincinnati. You said the Bucs ain't gonna win this week?
No. I'm saying that the Carolina Panthers are playing the Steelers.
They playing Mac Holmgren.
I'll give a game to the Steelers.
I don't even know what that argument's about. All that bravado in your voice, like you were saying that they was gonna beat the Steelers. That's what you're saying.
All I'm gonna say is 35-7.
Well, I am of an old adage. When you get your ass whooped, you admit an ass whooping, and you play better next time.
And you move on.
We
got our ass whooped.
That was nothing to watch. That game film is just throw that bitch in the trash. Everybody played like shit.
You know it's bad. And look, you know why I don't like that game even more? It woke my 1-year-old son up. Because I'm scrolling and I see the score. God, man, baby up now because I didn't yell because of how bad the Buccaneers were getting drugged.
And we should have got drugged. San Francisco was the better team that day. They absolutely were. The quarterback played better than our quarterback. Their line blocked better than our line. Their defense played better than our defense. I tip my hat to them. But our season ain't over. Unlike the Texans, unlike the Raiders.
Well,
y'all already got y'all.
We thumping our chest with a losing record.
Why you thump your chest? Y'all lost to a team that hired a quarterback on Thursday. He don't even know the fucking offense.
I'm sorry. No, you ain't finna get away with this one, buddy. No, you're not.
How?
Y'all got y'all ass beat by Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft.
Right.
Tom Brady was the last pick.
I ain't even gonna call him Mr. Irrelevant.
Who's been in a system how long? How long has he been playing? With the San Francisco 49ers.
We lost to a first round, the number one draft pick.
Okay.
The number one draft pick. That's what we lost.
Who's been to 3 different teams in 2 years? That's who y'all lost.
Y'all got 30 points put on y'all.
Did not even know the damn
that was on
offense.
The practice squad.
Come on, bro. Who knew the offense? He knew where everybody's gonna be.
I'm sorry.
Baker Mayfield did some shit that has never been done in NFL history.
Okay, that just means we need to fire a head coach. But y'all got a defensive head coach. Y'all got the supposed GOAT and got ran out the stadium.
I just told you we got beat.
We got whooped too. We got I freely admit we got whooped.
We didn't get whooped.
We got whooped.
We didn't get whooped. We gave the game away.
But
we showed you know what I've seen from the Texans this year. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. You can quote me on it. We show teams that we can compete, and then we go ahead and give them the game so we can get right now. Because
Oh,
we've competed in a lot of games. A lot of the games we lost, we were right there.
Old man once told me.
If you come in and come down, play.
What is happening? Let me pause the stream.
That ain't me.
We about to get
No,
copywritten.
I know. I'm trying to figure out where it came from.
Not me.
Oh, I went to Jamar Chase page.
Oh,
Great.
Lord.
No, I just wanted to see if he was going to be active. And Jamar Chase is active. He might put up 150 on y'all. Whew.
Shall not, won't not. And there's never been a player that came out of injury and put up some kind of number.
He
He's
played
on a
last
pitch
week.
count. He's on a pitch count.
I mean, I guess based on last week's performance, he ain't gonna have to
The,
play after halftime.
the Bengals are fighting for a playoff spot. Ain't no pitch count. It's December.
So are the Bucks. That's why I think
it's December. Ain't no pitch count. You gotta go out there and get it.
All right, better ask Debo. Don't see that shit. Don't be physical.
They said Debo Samuel was playing football at 4 or 5 years old against the 8-year-old. Daddy told him, "You better not let the first person tackle." He was killing.
I'm in utter amazement, TP.
35.
The NFC South. Like how you gonna get a top 5 draft pick and be in the playoffs? How that work out?
The Bucks.
They gonna change the whole playoff system.
How they gonna change it when we win the Super Bowl?
Oh,
How they gonna change it, Frank?
what?
Oh no. He said it, you know.
So
I get it though. I get it. That's
responsible.
And I said it with my chest.
That's misplaced faith in his team, but I understand.
So a responsible podcaster has got to ask questions to delve deep into the psyche of his comment. You said y'all are gonna do what?
Super Bowl. Bam.
So
Two words.
So TP, let me tell you how this is setting up, right? The Bucks win the division. They get a first round game against the Dallas Cowboys. The Bucks cannot protect the Say They life. The
Cowboys should have just lost to a 1-11 team, but that's neither here nor there.
I know.
No faith in them. So please don't give me the Cowboys. I have zero faith in Dak.
And that's my only reservation about the Cowboys. They talking trash to a team. They don't play for 2 weeks. So they just completely, I think they play the Colts this week. And
we've seen the Cowboys do this before. I don't know why.
No, I'm sorry. They play the Jaguars.
They probably lose to the Jags. Jags play everybody tough.
Who finna play this week?
Everybody. But
it has to be exhausting to be a Jags player because every game has been close. That is exhausting. Because when you're getting your ass whooped and there's no chance to come back, you're not even stressed on the sideline by the end of it. You just kind of like, man, what we finna eat?
And they do got some good food spots in the Ville.
I believe it.
I mean, it's Duval. I mean, that's not even in question. The question is, can Dallas win if they so focused on talking about the Eagles all week long. So much so that Michael Parsons said he pretty sure that the Eagles fans hate him. Michael, let me go ahead and tell you something. I know you're having a really nice season and you're feeling like people talking about you like they talk about Lawrence Taylor. Few things. Slow down. Your team ain't won nothing in the last 30 years. Slow down. They don't hate you. They pity you. They feel the same way about the Dallas Cowboys as I feel about Miami Hurricanes. They ain't a rival no more. It's a rivalry when you fight back. But when you punch the kid in the face and he just fall down and cry and get on the cell phone and call his mama, it's not a rivalry. And that's all Dallas doing, is getting punched in the face. And y'all need to keep Jalen Hurts' name out your mouth. Because of the young quarterbacks, he's done the most improvement out of everybody. He has changed his game. He has made everybody know that he was a better quarterback than Tua.
Let me tell you something about Jalen Hurts. All right, Jalen Hurts is from Houston, Texas. He was born with a chip on his shoulder. He's always had to deal with this. Oh, he's an African-American quarterback. He doesn't have the intelligence to play at the next level. He's heard all of it. Get the big head. They want to celebrate. They want to do all that, right? But check it out. When his team's celebrating on the sideline, he head and eyes straight forward, eyes on the prize. That is a man on a mission. And the entire NFL better pay notice. Because when push comes to shove, he balls. When they need him, he makes a play. And also, if we look at how the Eagles have played, they haven't lost themselves games. See, we get a lot of we go back and forth with a lot of they good, they this, they that. When you don't make mistakes, you give yourself the opportunity to be able to win. If you look at how they lost to Washington, had Brandon Graham not laid on a quarterback that was already on the ground for 2 minutes, the Eagles still have a chance to win that game. And that was the only thing Hurts was upset about. He was ready to get back on the field. He had that Mamba look on his face that he was about to go kill the Commanders. But he wasn't given an opportunity to come back and try to win that game because of undisciplined play by the defense. So we can't blame him for that loss. Eagles also didn't stop the run at all that game. They let Brian Robinson come into their house and walk all over. You can't win too many games like that. But that was a learning experience for them. So that one loss, they probably needed that one loss. Let's get some humbling. Stop worrying about the 72 Dolphins and go play some football. Because I don't see no team in the NFC that can compete with them outside of the 49ers. And that's because the 49ers got the best defense in the league. So Packers, wash. Vikings, wash. The whole NFC South, wash. Seahawks, washed. Rams, washed. There's not a team in the NFC outside of the 49ers that are even going to be able to compete with the Eagles in the playoffs. Washed. I've seen enough from the Bucks this year to know that they washed. Look, y'all address some personnel issues in the offseason, retool that offensive line, get yourself a tight end that can actually get open. And maybe you have a chance to come back.
I agree with the personnel issue. We had some injuries this season that was unfortunate. I do think had our center not went down in preseason, this would look a lot different. We, we hired somebody out the street and was like, hey, can you snap the ball? He's like, yeah. How much you weigh? 300. All right, we're going to give you a shot. And all being told, he has done a pretty decent job. So it ain't his fault. But that damn Donovan Smith, I see that dude in the street. How can you lead the NFL in penalties at left tackle? You are doing a whole lot wrong. So that's one of the biggest issues I think we need to address right there.
I'm pretty sure his meetings go, do not let Tom Brady get hit.
You know, when a left tackle who is protecting the quarterback's blind side leads the league in false start penalties, that tells me one thing. He is not equipped to do the job.
He's scared.
Because, go load, I got you, Troy, I got you. When you're getting false start penalties, it is because you are so nervous about whoever's pass rushing in front of you that you're trying to get out of your stance early. You spooked. That is why he leads the league in false start penalties. Because he's not equipped to do the job. He knows that he's not good enough to move up fast enough to keep a lot of these speed rushers coming around the edge. He got to get out his stance a bit quicker. And sometimes it be a too much bit quicker. Sure.
So, Marlo, you had some thoughts on Philly.
I like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has single-handedly given me 6 wins in my fantasy football by himself. I love this young man. I think all his trials and tribulations, getting shitted on at Alabama, getting an opportunity to lead a team in Oklahoma, getting drafted. Philly was so high on this young man, they got rid of a guy that they had just paid. They got rid of another guy that was going to demand a big paycheck and named him a starter in his rookie season. Fast forward 2 years, now this young man is in definite control of every aspect of this offense. Like, he controls everything. And does it on a level so high, the rest of the NFL has no choice but to look at it. So I think what he brings to Philly is a winner's mentality. He don't make mistakes. He gets their team out of bad plays, like plays that are negative. He turns into positive. This kid got it. But dude, I think they're gonna have a problem when they face Tampa Bay. I do, and I'll tell you why. With the healthy Tampa Bay defense, we are top 5 in the league. That run game that they rely on so much isn't gonna run when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are healthy. So I think we'll get healthy just in time for the playoffs, and the team is gonna look a lot different than they do. But now all these young players are getting the opportunity to play some ball that normally would not. They would be observers. So they're getting actual game time experience against good teams. So I like us. I like us in the playoffs against everybody.
No. It is December, and it is rapidly turning into fuck around and find out season. And we're about to learn some stuff about the Bucks, and we're about to learn some stuff about the Eagles, and maybe even the Dallas Cowboys. So we're gonna see. We definitely gonna see. A couple things we need to get to. Caleb Williams is the Heisman Trophy winner. Mike White has his third Heisman Trophy winner. Which is interesting because that's that Mike Leach coaching tree. For those who don't know, Mike Leach passed away of a massive heart attack.
Yeah.
Definitely
a sad situation.
And what's interesting is his coaching tree is interesting. Riley is one of his former assistants. The head coach for the Arizona Cardinals is one of his assistants. Probably not one of his better assistants, but one of his assistants. But Mike Riley has 3 Heisman Trophy winners, running something very similar to the air raid. In Mike Leach's illustrious career, he won in places nobody else could win. Ain't nothing in Lubbock, Texas. The people in Lubbock, Texas, trying to find stuff to do in Lubbock, Texas. He got kids to play. He didn't need the 5 stars. Just give me your fast 3 stars and your 1 star that can catch, and I'll win you some games. He gets into a little trouble with Craig James' son, and he an old school coach. You say you got a concussion, he'll go get in that shed. Not the best move. But if you've paid attention to Mike Leach, he's a very colorful guy. He once said that after a loss, the reason that they lost was because his football players was hanging out with the fat cheerleaders. There were no fat cheerleaders. He was just being funny. That was just him. They called him the Pirate. Then he goes to Pullman, Washington, where I'm pretty people who go to Washington State tell me that their house don't have air conditioning. It doesn't get hot enough for AC. He won in Pullman, Washington. He is, without a doubt, one of the most underrated head coaches. He was an innovator. And he was just one of those dudes that was just smart for no reason. He was an attorney. He played rugby in college. He went to BYU. Lavelle Edwards used to let him watch game film and explain the game to him. He was watching game film with Steve Young. Guy was different. He was special. And he will be sorely missed. And on his way out the door, he fucked over Lane Kiffin's season and gave him an L on his way out the door. So rest in peace, Mike Leach. You were most definitely an innovator, and you most definitely will be missed. I'm sad that you never coached at Florida State. I don't know if we need to talk about this or not, but Navy coach, and I don't want to mess up his name, Navy's former coach was fired after he lost to Army for the 3rd time in a row. And nobody ever wants to see somebody lose their job. But that's how you fire a coach. You don't wait around. You do it in person. Don't try and hide behind, let me send the No. You do it in person. Right there in the moment. Like Lane Kiffin got fired on the termite. You do it right then. That's how you fire a coach. Nah.
What Drake say? I see you last night, but did it broad day. They
know what I'm
got
saying?
fired in broad daylight. There was no waiting around. There was no we contemplate. Nah, you lost, you out. Just like that. But I wanted to go back because I told you who the best player in college football was. I said about a month and a half ago. I said it's this quarterback out in USC that looks pretty good.
You did. You did.
I said this guy looks pretty good. I seen some glimmers of Pat Mahomes in him. The ability to throw from every platform really speaks, to us that watch the minor details in football. We can say, oh, that's a good throw, but why was it a good throw? Why was it so difficult? Now you start to realize how good the young man is, because everybody can't do that. Pat Mahomes goes out there every Sunday and shows y'all some shit that everybody can't do. Now, if I was teaching my son how to play quarterback, I'm going to tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not showing him film on Pat Mahomes.
Mm-mm.
Because there are some things that you just can't emulate. You just are born with it. It's muscle memory. He's just different. Caleb Williams is different. He has that it factor. When you see him play, you're not gonna see anybody else play like that. That's why he won the Heisman. They realized, even though they didn't make it to the national championship, couldn't get past Utah. Them damn Utes was on their ass all year. They only losses this year was to the Utes. But good season. Congratulations, young man. I'm hoping, if he comes out this year, hey, I would, as a Texas fan, I would take him over Bryce Young. Just saying.
What's his classification?
I think he has another year. Let me check. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think he has one more year left.
So he's a junior.
Yep, he'll be he's a junior. So he has one more year. So we know which quarterback TP want for his Texans.
I mean, it ain't gonna happen. We're gonna draft Bryce Young and win 4 games next year, and they gonna be too scared to go up and get another quarterback.
Why? Why, TP? Why?
What? I'm a realist. I am a realist.
Well, I think TP has been abused one too many times by his team.
I'm just saying, the man's speaking facts. You go from 1 game to 4, that's improvement.
Well,
I just call it like I see him.
Spoken like a Bucks fan.
I watched Bryce Young play against the Longhorns. I know what he can do. It wasn't shit. Alabama. When the last time we seen Alabama not in the playoffs? Hello.
They are having a bad season.
Hello. Who the quarterback? Hello. You can't win at Alabama? Hello.
Yeah. This year college football was interesting. It was very interesting. Florida State is in a bowl game. It is very interesting. I don't even know how we're in a bowl game.
So you didn't think that y'all would win 7 games?
No. We had the same head coach.
In the ACC, you didn't think that y'all would win 7. There's not 7 good teams in the ACC.
TP, we was in the ACC last year. And we
won 6 games.
And we won 6 games last year.
And y'all didn't think that you would improve. Y'all looked good in preseason. Y'all beat LSU. That should have told you right there that, hey, We actually have athletes. You know, it is Florida State.
We try to give the game away.
Y'all are not devout of talent. Y'all just have a head coach that don't like kicking field goals.
It's only so many times that I can look at my head coach do something stupid and I'd be like, yeah, this guy's going to lead us to... No, I never thought he was going to lead us to a bowl game. I felt like we would be 6-6 again. Like we beating Boston College, I was shocked. Because apparently the bar is Wake Forest. The only thing we didn't do is what Miami did and got our ass beat by Duke. That's the only thing we didn't do.
The best thing to come out of this college football
season.
Finished
in the top 20 this season.
Oh, listen. Let me tell you how fugazi that is, right? We finished in the top 20. We lost to a North Carolina State team that in the second half, they attempted, I ain't say complete, they attempted one pass and we still lost. And now you're making me believe that we have a top 25 team. I don't believe it. But it was one of those years.
That's what the voters said.
I know that the voters saying, I'm saying the eye test. The eye test tells me
when y'all beat LSU, I said, oh, they got athletes.
Yeah, we have athletes. Our problem has never been athletes. We have had one pervasive problem since Jimbo Fisher decided that he didn't really want to be a head coach. Left tackle, did not recruit one. And head coaching. Point blank, period.
Here's an interesting stat. The Longhorns have not had an offensive lineman drafted to the NFL in any round in 10 years. All these big country corn-fed motherfuckers we got in Texas, we can't get one in the NFL. They wasn't recruiting for that. That's why we ain't been successful. Why we ain't been to a national championship since Vince Young left. But we did have the best running back in the nation. So hopefully we might see there's some old linemen on our staff that's getting talks about playing at the next level. So maybe that will usher in a new wave and change the mentality and culture in the locker room.
So I don't know about drafted overall, but I can tell you in the first round, the last Florida State lineman that was drafted in the first round was Cameron Irvin in 2015.
Went to the Panthers, right?
He went to I think he went there later. He got drafted by the Browns. So
his career really could have died right there. I look at getting drafted by the Browns as a death sentence. I don't know. I'm just, historically they ain't been good at drafting.
but y'all want to get on me about putting a dude in the Hall of Fame that ain't never whatever. Anyway.
No, Joe Thomas is still the best left tackle to play in the last 20-some years.
I get it. I get it. He did his job. He did yeoman's work. He just ain't never had a quarterback that was an all-pro or all-pro alternate or like a honorable mention of an all-pro.
He blocked for over 20 quarterbacks and still only gave up 30 sacks.
None of them. So, bro. Cleveland fans, I don't care if you don't like it. It's the truth. Y'all talk about my Raiders all you want to. Y'all.
Look, people, I want y'all to understand this is the same man that said Frank Gore not a Hall of Fame. This is the same guy.
You don't get credit for showing up to work.
He said Joe Thomas ain't a Hall of Famer. Frank Gore ain't a Hall of Fame. The disrespect
The dude showed up to work. Yes, he was.
He also said Cal
good.
Ripken Jr. ain't a Hall of Famer too. So you baseball fans,
No, Cal
me and
Ripken
him.
is a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer, but he ain't say baseball. Ain't nobody checking for Cal Ripken. We have not yet had a Cal Ripken debate.
So you didn't say he shouldn't have been a Hall of Famer. You never said that.
I don't think I said he should have been a Hall of Famer. I think I said.
I think the quote was he getting in the Hall of Fame for showing up.
Yeah, I said that. I did say that. He got in the Hall of Fame.
So you're basically saying that he wasn't deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. When you say a statement like that, it's a loaded statement.
Quit trying to expose how I put my information out there to the world. Stop doing that.
You told Cal Ripken Jr. to read between the lines.
Pretty much.
That shit is hilarious.
It's like, what we talking about here, Cal Ripken? What? Come on, like, and I don't want it to be like just Cal Ripken bash day. That's just wrong.
No, you bash Joe Thomas and Frank Gore too. Nobody's safe.
He a hurricane.
Absolutely.
He a hurricane. Like, I'm supposed to feel bad about that. I'm sorry, Frank. You did a great job from whatever y'all time period was, from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the evening. You showed up to work and you brought your hard hat every day. And you outlasted a lot better backs over time. But am I taking Frank Gore? I ain't taking Frank Gore over none of anybody. Like, I ain't even taking Frank Gore over Ricky Waters.
Oh, wow. I showed you Ricky Waters stats, and you still on board.
This really need to be the disrespect segment right now.
The disrespect is outrageous at this point.
This dude is bona fide crazy.
Here we go.
Listen, y'all want to get mad at me. We are talking about Frank Gore in an era when part of it ain't Frank's fault, because we started transitioning from the bell cow running back to the running back by committee. So it ain't all Frank Gore fault. We also transitioned to that time where we didn't want to pay running backs what we used to pay them. So they got less money. So that ain't Frank's fault either. But I'm trying to figure out when Frank Gore was like in your head at any point in time, like, I gotta have Frank Gore.
That was a couple seasons.
And that's what I'm saying. He had a couple good seasons out of like 15, 20.
Being consistently productive is an asset to a team. He was consistently productive.
Agree. I 100% agree. When Martha come to work every day and the crinkle fries are perfectly brown every day, she is doing her job.
She doing God's work.
She ain't putting the mayonnaise on the chicken. She ain't doing that.
She doing God's work, Troy.
She's not making the sweet potato pie. What are we talking about here? She came to work and she did her job. And she got paid for doing her job.
He did more than just do his job.
Okay, so if we just go through the bevy of highlights when it comes to Frank Gore, none of them be like, wow, Frank Gore, like, really, none of them. None of his highlights are like, oh my God, that was none of them.
So we want
Adrian Peterson.
We want the pretty shiny thing. I get it. We like pretty and shiny.
No, everything ain't pretty and shiny. Wait, hold on. Let me take that back because Earl Campbell was
Earl
both
Campbell got
dull
highlights.
and blunt.
He was running.
Yeah, I'm saying he was dull
over.
and blunt, and he got pretty and shiny. Marcus Allen, excellent example. Marcus Allen was a dude that no matter what it was, third down and less than 5, it's automatic. He was consistent that way. He was consistent. If you're throwing the ball out the backfield, you better hope your linebacker got wheels. Because if you don't, choo-choo, and he gone. So it's not that just it's shiny. He was very consistent, but he was very consistent good. He wasn't very consistent great. And it's difficult. And to be fair, it's difficult to be the great back for 15 whatever years. Because when Adrian Peterson came back, we was like, oh my God, he came back from another knee injury. So much so that when he got to Washington, we was expecting him to reel off 2,000 yards. Like, dude, he's not supposed to be here. Knees are not supposed to be able to do that. And what he did to the Buccaneers when he was in Arizona, everybody on the defense should have got fired that day.
Let me tell you something. It'll be a long time before we see somebody built like Adrian Peterson. He's just built different. I seen it. Look, Longhorns fan. He's a Sooner. The first time I seen this dude play football, he went for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns on my Longhorns. And I said, my God, that is the best running back I have ever seen. He is going to be special. First time I ever seen him. He went on to have a Hall of Fame NFL career. Once he got that fumbling issue out the way because he wants to fight for extra yards, he ain't holding the ball particularly tight. He's trying to still juke, jump, and spin move past people. Once he figured that out, he was unstoppable. Should have broke the record. Should have. Season-wise, he did break the single game.
So y'all talked a lot of shit to me about Cal Ripken Jr. I pulled up his Wikipedia page that his people control.
It's public.
Batting average 276. Hits 3,184. That's what got him in the Hall. Get you in the Hall of Fame.
Stop right there.
Yeah,
that gets you in the Hall of Fame.
Player with 3,000 hits.
3,000 hits. That's the
that
number.
Got him in the Hall of Fame.
That's the number.
Any baseball player with 3,000 hits, bro.
However, hold on. Let me pull out my calculator. Because, I want to be fair. I'm just
3, saying 3,000
184.
Once you hit that, you can just stop. You a Hall of Fame.
Hold on. Okay. Okay. So each season he had 159 hits each season. Over 20 seasons. That's how he got his number. So I'm not wrong. He showed up to work and did his job for 20 years. What are we talking about?
For 20 years.
And he showed up for 20 years.
And he was available.
Yes. And Major League Baseball did a whole campaign on an Iron Man chase, and nobody watched. But when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire, after that lockout, because baseball was in a bad place.
Dig the long ball.
I'm just trying to figure out
what we're gonna bring that back.
I'm just trying to figure out what we're talking about here. Like,
you gotta get new shirts made and everything.
You know what? I think Nike got that copywritten.
Oh yeah, it's 100% copyrighted. 100%.
I'm gonna get a cease and desist letter in the mail.
You may one of them and try to sell it. You getting sued, brother. Don't even worry about it. I'll see you in court. Just beware if a little dude in a suit holding a briefcase come up to you and ask you, is your name Troy White? You better tell him no.
Yeah, he's trying to get paid. But and again, it's a lot of players that are good consistently over time.
But I
Hines
think
Ward is
another
example.
But where do we draw the line to say that's what made them great? Because they were always available and they were always productive.
So like with Cal Ripken, like I make jokes or whatever, but Cal Ripken was in the division with the Yankees. He got one World Series out of 20 years. He wasn't getting no more than that. Because there was a guy in New York that was like, oh, y'all won? Okay, let's start writing checks. George Steinbrenner did not play. He did not believe in losing.
No. And when you have when you in a sport that has no salary cap and you have no limit on funds, you know, I've never liked that about baseball, the fact that they don't have a salary cap, because the salary cap is in place to inflict balance throughout the league. You can't just go and pay players to come from overseas and pay this guy this much to steal him from a franchise. That's why the NBA has max deals. This is the max. And that's why everybody be like, oh, he's going to get the super max. He's going to get the super max. Yeah, because that is the cap. At the end of the day, a team can't go beyond that to try to persuade you to come.
Yeah.
In baseball, they don't have that. The Yankees like, shit, I give you 900 mil right now. Sign the contract.
But here go my beef with Major League Baseball right here. The Rays and the Padres are my issue with Major League Baseball. I don't care about Houston. I don't care about the Yankees. The Rays and the Padres. The markets are very similar. One is putting money into the team. The other one is like, I know we need to get some splash players, but I'm going to do the bare minimum to keep going. And the good thing about it is they got a good farm system. So they're like, well, as long as we get close to the playoffs, I'm cool. Meanwhile, you around here hollering about you want a new stadium. Why? Why would I give you a new stadium? You haven't invested in a team, but you want us to invest in you. For what?
What is this new stadium going to do? First of all, is it going to generate more revenue? Is it going to bring more fans to watch y'all barely make the playoffs? No, none of that's going to happen. What's going to happen is y'all going to sign this contract and then be in debt to the city and try to get the city to help pay for it because you don't have enough money in your general funds because of attendance being so low. That's what's going to happen. And that's why they haven't gotten one.
And I've said it many times on this podcast, Stu Sternberg, you're stupid. The St. Pete and Pinellas County political organizations, the Chamber of Commerce, the
that shit was hilarious.
The City Hall, all of these people, all you got to do is be nice. They looking for reasons to give nice white people money.
That shit is hilarious.
Every turn, you piss them off for fun. You know what? I think we'll split the season and go to Montreal, a place where Major League Baseball contracted the team and moved it to Washington, who hadn't had a team since the 50s. And you thought that was a good idea. And Major League Baseball let you like rattle that off for a few months to see if like it would generate a deal. And it didn't, because you pissed off the wrong people in St. Pete. I'm from St. Pete. I'll tell you how they are. They take things personal. They want to be able to say, see, we have done this and we are a community and you are our partner. And you basically said, F you, I ain't your partner. Find me somewhere to put a stadium. You left out the fact that they tried to put the stadium on the water. You left out that they tried to give you one in the Caroline area. Like all this stuff. And all you wanted to talk about was going over to Tampa. Here's a news flash. There is a political rivalry between St. Pete and Tampa. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays were the Tampa Bay Devil Rays because St. Pete was like, no, we St. Pete, and they're going to be named St. Pete. And the state said, if you name them St. Pete, you won't get any funds for road improvement around the stadium. And that's how they became the Tampa Bay Rays.
You know, I always wondered, Tampa Bay not even a city.
It's not. It's a body of water.
And it threw me for a loop when I found that out. I'm like, Tampa Bay not a city? 'Cause I was looking for Tampa Bay on the map. You're not gonna find Tampa. You might find the city. You might find the city of Tampa.
And on a regular basis, people ask me what I don't understand the whole Tampa Bay thing. Tampa Bay thing is really Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. That is Tampa Bay. Those are the major cities in the area, and we call it Tampa Bay.
We have the New England Patriots. We have the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, the Los Angeles Rams and Chargers don't play in Los Angeles. They play in Los Angeles County. A lot of people get it misconstrued. They think Los Angeles is one of the biggest cities in America. It's really not. The city of Los Angeles is actually really small. But the county of Los Angeles is massive. It's big as some states. The county line extends from the ocean down there to right outside of San Diego and all the way over to Nevada. That's all Los Angeles County.
It's Miami is similar. The Dolphins actually play in Miami Gardens. They don't play in Miami, but because Miami-Dade County, that's why if you like a lot of old school people say I'm from Dade, that's what they mean.
You know where the Houston Texans play?
I don't.
They play in Houston.
Oh,
I'll save you the trouble.
Like they're playing Houston. They ain't got to worry about it. We don't make things difficult in Texas.
No,
but the Dallas Cowboys playing Irving.
The Dallas Cowboys playing Irving, Fort Worth area. It ain't really Dallas.
Yeah, but
the way that they had theirs set up, they're all one anyway. It's the Dallas Fort Worth area. It ain't just they're all encompassed.
But I bet you Jared Jones know how to treat the local politicians.
Oh. Money talks.
I bet you that.
Money talks.
We know that. Down here, y'all need to go back to selling cars.
The almighty dollar.
Baseball ain't y'all thing. Like baseball is just not your thing. There is more than if you are an owner of any sports franchise. You got to deal with the league. You got to deal with your team. You got to deal with the press, and then you got to deal with the politics of owning a team. We ain't talking about a small business. You are talking about billions of dollars that are going through your team, the community. Like there are people who are relying on the income that they receive from these facilities, and this particular owner is playing games. So just y'all enjoy the ride, because all y'all gonna look like fools when the Rays are still in Pinellas County and they ain't leave to go to Tampa. Because Tampa already told y'all we're not paying for another stadium, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
And a lot of times that's
TV,
why teams don't get new stadiums. That's why the Chargers ain't got a stadium. That's why they play in the same place as the Rams, because the city said we're not paying for two stadiums. We're not doing it. Y'all better play together and love it. Why you think the Clippers never got a stadium? The Clippers wanted their own stadium for years. Tired of being at the Staples Center and being under. Look, and back in the day, it was like a totally different vibe. Like, it was so bad that you wouldn't even think you was at the same stadium if you went to a Clippers game and then came back and went to a Lakers game. The change in the atmosphere was so different.
Because one is hopeful. The other one's like, we know you ain't gonna win. Like, why we even here?
Now mine has a technical turn. And guess what? The Lakers still get the nod because they're the Lakers. That name, something about a name.
Well, side note, there was a Kawhi sighting recently. He played in a game.
It's amazing.
And I talk all this noise about dudes that show up to work, and this dude don't show up to work.
He don't show up to work. Ben Simmons don't show up to work. There's a lot of people in the NBA that don't show up to work. You take that for granted.
Yeah.
I think
y'all better be glad y'all better be glad y'all not in the real world. Because you got about 2 no call, no shows and your ass out of there.
In the military, I no call, no show. I go to jail.
So, everybody, Marlo's phone died. So he may or may not call back in. While we was getting ready for the show, interesting article popped up. The National Labor Relations Board has directed its Los Angeles regional office to pursue charges of unfair labor practices against USC, the Pac-10, and the NCAA. They will argue that athletes at USC are employees of those 3 groups and that their rights have been unlawfully restricted. If they are successful, athletes who play men's basketball, women's basketball, or football, basically revenue-generating sports, at any private college in the NCAA will be granted rights of employees. And the reason that it's private institutions and not state institutions is because state institutions already have agreements in place with their employees at universities. So, for instance, I worked at Florida A&M. I was a member of the state employees union. There was already a binding arbitration agreement that we had with the state. So there's no reason for them to do it for state. However, if this floats for private school employees, their next thing is going to be a push for all universities to call their players in revenue generating sports employees. That's going to get ugly. And for everybody who wasn't paying attention, the Supreme Court already said you got to allow these dudes to get paid.
That's what the NIL was supposed to like try to put a Band-Aid on. It's really like, let's be honest, the NIL deals are Band-Aids. They're Band-Aids. Yep. And they about to rip that Band-Aid off and say, fix it.
Mm-hmm. So now it's about to get spicy. Again, it's also no coincidence.
By the year 2030, NCAA is going to have a set salary cap in place for student athletes. Mark my words.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to because
there'll be a legit salary cap like the NFL and NBA.
listen, as soon as Harvard basketball team start having 5-star recruits, they're gonna fix that quick, fast, in a hurry. Because if you don't know, Harvard, Stanford, they got money. They got billionaire alumni. And if they come to play, only Texas and certain areas in Florida are going to be able to compete with the money that's going to be thrown around college football.
Yeah, and what people don't understand is a lot of the Ivy League schools, their alumni take more pride in their alma mater than a lot of the regular Division I schools that we know of. And their booster program is out of this world, but they spend most of their money on privatized research.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till they take some of that money and start throwing it at the athletic program.
Eventually, people are going to realize schools can take that money to get donated and flip it. Miami learned that too. He was getting money from dudes that was like running Ponzi schemes. But I think that's like the 4th shot I took at Miami tonight. I'm gonna chill out on Miami.
I mean, I get it. You a Seminole.
In my heart,
I understand. That's that's like me coming on here and hoping the wheels on the boomer schooner fall off every time they bring that motherfucker out the tunnel. I be waiting. I be hoping. Man, let this little barrel looking thing fall over. I don't want nobody to get hurt, because I'm not a bad person or nothing. But I do want the wheel to fall off.
In my heart, I know it's wrong to punch down. I know they're going through difficult times. But it's like, it's just so easy. It's just like, and TP, this is the worst part. Like, I went to Florida State, not when we was losing to Miami. I went to Florida State when we was beating the brakes off Miami. So when I was there, we had one loss to Miami while I was there.
Man, shit changed in the early 2000s. God.
Yeah.
Well, the late 90s. Late 90s with Wilford and Ray Lewis. Look, I could go down the list because believe you might not like me after I say this, but I was a U fan. But I wasn't a U fan because I liked the school. I was a U fan because I liked the players that went there. All of my favorite players, when I watch football, I tend to, I fall for certain players. And I'm like, man, I really like the way they play the game. I love that. Sean Taylor is still my favorite player based off of what he did in college. Ed Reed, what he did in college. Jonathan Vilma, one of my favorite linebackers of all time, what he did in college. Edgerrin James, Frank Gore. My favorite running back of all time is Clinton Portis for what he did at the U.
Miami, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Miami got a lot of bad rap for what happened after Jimmy Johnson left. Dennis Eckerson was not a disciplinarian. He let them do what they wanted to do, when they wanted to do it, how they wanted to do it. They was out hanging out in the club with Luke. It was just, and that's how they ended up in the bad. Yeah, they ended up in bad probations. So hold on. So I don't know. Hold on. Before let me look it up before I say this, because I don't want to incriminate people who's going on with their lives. Okay. So there is, like everybody talk about Freaknik, there is a festival in Miami called Goombay that takes place in Coconut Grove. Goombay is open to the public. And it is amazing. It was amazing when I was able to partake in the activities. It was It was Freaknik with a flair. It was good food. It was everything. And I'm gonna stop so we don't get banned. But it was everything. It was. There are days that I miss Miami. But Jill Scott is gonna be in Miami for Jazz in the Garden. So, hey Jill, how you doing?
It's your
See
boy.
you soon.
It's your boy. It's me again.
But yeah.
You may have forgotten, but I didn't.
Oh man, if you and your wife, but the baby, when the baby due?
So she went to the doctor today, and they're not sure if there's another one in there.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's no flying. Congratulations.
Y'all pray for me.
Are we praying for you because she might strangle you in your sleep, or you might have twins?
That part, which would mean no sleep.
Oh,
I mean, Nas said sleep is the cousin of death. So I guess since I'm not going to be getting any of it, I'll be, closer to being alive.
Nas also said that, wasn't he cheating on Khalees at that time?
I can neither confirm nor deny. My name Bennett, and I ain't in it.
For real. Oh man, time has flown. Time has definitely flown. Probably my fault because I was talking about Cal Ripken Jr. Whatever. I'm gonna try and go through a couple things. Alex Ovechkin is on a chase for 800 goals. Oh, he hit 800. He's chasing Wayne Gretzky. He needs to hit 895 to pass Wayne Gretzky. He would have to average, I want to say 50 goals
for 2 seasons.
For the next 2 seasons. So let's go to the NHL. Stats. And it's just, I am.
Is it safe to say that he's
amazed.
a Hall of Famer?
Oh, he's a first ballot.
First ballot?
Easy. Yeah, but the reason that he can't be talked about the same way as Wayne Gretzky is because he had too many playoffs where he just didn't show up.
I mean, we have a lot of those in the Hall of Fame, though. Those regular season goats.
He has 20 goals right now.
We let you tell it. They just showed up to work.
What? I didn't say that about Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning got 2 rings.
But for the longest time, Peyton Manning was the regular season goon.
I mean, he had to play the other GOAT in the playoffs. How many times did it come down to Peyton versus Tom Brady for the Super Bowl? Tom Brady just had his number. Well, more so, Bill Belichick had Peyton Manning's number. Like, let's be honest. Bill Belichick coached defense. They kind of tough.
Yeah.
They kind of tough. Bill Belichick gets all my respect because he is the best defensive football coach I have seen in my lifetime. Bill Parcells, love him to death, but Bill Belichick is the best defensive coach I've seen in my lifetime.
So it looks like Ovechkin has been averaging, that's postseason, regular season. I'm just doing the last 3 seasons. He's been very close to 50 goals for the last 3 seasons.
If he averages 48 goals, that'll put him at 896.
So he's got 20 now.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem. He's 37.
He can play for another
He is
3 years.
racing for all the time.
Look, if he
I didn't
has
even
the
realize he was that
opportunity,
old.
if he has the opportunity to reset, we seen Emmett do it. Emmett should have been stopped playing football, but he said, "No, I'm going after the record." And then he passed then he broke the record and then ran for another 2,000 yards.
What's interesting is that the owner of the Caps said that they're not gonna blow the squad up so he can just chase records. They're gonna keep the team competitive. He's saying he's gonna keep the team competitive. And if he's playing every day,
and if Ovechkin is smart, he's not gonna be in there like, yo, I need to get paid. No, you already got paid. You going after a record, like take the veteran minimum and just come on back. Get your last 2 seasons out the way, break the record, ride off into the sunset. You'll be a first ballot.
I know I need to know what's going on with Stamkos. Well, he's had some injuries. Stamkos only 32. There he goes. He only 32. He got 497. You're not gonna make it, buddy. You're not gonna make it. You got too many sub 50 goals.
He needs 70
Like he has
in the next 6 years.
For real. He got a season where he had last season he had 16 goals. He had 17 goals in 2021. He had 9. He was injured 9 and 16. Yeah, he's had a few injuries that's just like
you say he's
him out. So he had 497.
Okay.
And he's at 16 right now.
Yeah,
so.
he'd have to average about 66 goals a year for 6 years.
And that's not gonna happen because we got 3 dudes that can score goals. So
yeah.
what else we got? Well, we didn't really talk about it a lot, but Mike White deserves to have a medal, a hero cookie, or something, because the Buffalo Bills folded him up, and he said he gonna play. My hat's off to you, sir.
That was the hardest legal hit on a quarterback I have seen in years.
Yeah. That's crazy.
You ever watched the movie and like it was like an airplane scene and like something happened where the doors on the airplane fell off and people started flying out the damn cab?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it looked when he got hit because he was midair and it just looked like he just got pulled that way out the frame.
That was the most violent textbook fundamental tackle I've ever seen in my life. It's like that's it's so legal, but it should be illegal.
It looked like his organs were hurt. Like
yeah,
that wasn't a surface level hit. He still felt that. He feel it now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, score update 21-3, San Francisco. Oh man, we gonna like
Purdy is a pretty good day for football. It's a pretty good day for football.
Oh, I might be back in the race. My fantasy league squad might be back. Ooh.
It's Thursday.
All right.
Simmer down, Buttercup.
Calm down. Yeah. Kate Cunningham is going to have season-ending surgery, so the Pistons will miss him for the rest of this season. So TP, this is gonna hurt. Texas has suspended their head coach, men's basketball coach, amid a assault and domestic violence or domestic battery charge. They
He
have
choked out
not.
his wife. He should be fired.
You know what I find interesting? It's that any other coach would be gone. And the NCAA is already still trying to like sneak under the radar what went on in Arizona, because the coach Miller is no longer in Arizona. He's at Xavier. And
He should be
was,
fired and
getting
not allowed to coach at the collegiate level. I don't care if Houston was number one. That has nothing to do with real life.
Yeah.
In real life, put his hands on a woman in the way that he choked out his wife.
And he can't be in a position to lead men. Period.
No.
That is not the example you want.
Because nothing you say after that is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
The whole practice what you preach thing is real.
Yeah. Because
you can't be a man of stature while doing bottom level things. You are held accountable for your actions as a man. And that was one of the lowest things that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of sexual assault.
And Texas colleges have enough scandals when it involves battery and assault of women. They need to let him go and move on.
Yeah. They were having a good season. This is unfortunate for the program. Even more unfortunate for the poor woman that he decided to put his hands on. But at the end of the day, that's not acceptable.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, I saw Gov in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. It is that time of week again. I'm going to go ahead and go first because I started off by talking about soccer. Marla phone died, so I can talk about soccer again. This guy here, that's Pele. He is the GOAT. He got 3 of them things. It is difficult to get one because you ain't playing like your league when you go to the World Cup. You are playing the world. The best 16 teams in the world square off every 4 years and made the best team win. And he was the best player on the best team 3 times. The highlights. What he did back then, people can't do now. And the people who can do that, there are slim to none who can do what he did. Just recently, he fell ill. He's been battling cancer. At one point, they had put him in end-of-life measures. And now he's out of end-of-life measures. He's picking up. So hopefully he's able to battle back and make it through. We'll continue to monitor it. But my thoughts and prayers go to him and his family. Pele was the only star that we knew in the 80s. There was no internet. There was no worldwide leader of sports. It was Wide World of Sports on Saturdays, and you would get a glimpse of soccer. That was it. And that was the guy that we knew. So again, hopefully he makes it through. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your go to soccer. Not Messi, not Ronaldo, that guy. And that's all I got.
Now I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Appreciate everybody coming through. We are into the witching hour in the NFL, where playoff dreams are crushed and heroes are made. Heroes aren't born, they're made by performing when it matters. There are teams that are notoriously bad in December. Dallas. There are teams that actually play good in December, i.e. the Buccaneers, the 49ers. But what I'm seeing right now is a 49er football team with a third string quarterback telling the world, hey, we can play too. The Eagles better be on notice because as the power team in the NFC, that's your competition. And if you are unaware of what is coming for you, it is a good defense, a very solid running game with Christian McCaffrey, and a quarterback, and a coach that's not afraid to take chances. When you start playing teams like that, you start to understand that football is more than just who has the best player, who gonna dig down, and who gonna come to compete when it's time to play for a championship. Those are the things that matter. The AFC is kind of a toss-up at this point. The Bills, Chiefs, the Dolphins can't seem to get out of their own way. But from what I'm seeing, Eagles, Chiefs, Super Bowl, Andy Reid versus old team, I think it'll be very poetic Super Bowl victory for the Chiefs and Andy Reid. Because if you don't remember, he went to the NFC Championship 4 times with the Eagles and was unable to make it to a Super Bowl until the next time and had to run into Tom Brady. But hey, Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens with a broken leg went out there and gave the Patriots hell. They just came up short. But it would be a very poetic ending to the season if Andy Reid played his old team and beat them in the Super Bowl. The storylines that we try to build that add to the experience of football. It's not just watching it and enjoying the sport, but the storylines behind it. That's what really gets the people captivated about what they're seeing. And there's a lot of moving parts in the NFL right now. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. I'm tuned in every week. I can't wait for Sunday. But I appreciate y'all for watching me today while we sit here and we give y'all our old man views on the world of sports and anything closely related. See y'all again next week, same time.
Oh, again, thank y'all for coming out. Next week, same bat time, same bat channel. If the Bucks lose, I'm gonna be out of control, y'all. I'm just gonna tell y'all. Y'all just need to know the Bucks better not lose. I'm gonna be a problem.
They better not lose. Heads will roll. Heads will
Marlo
roll.
might not show up to the podcast. Marlo might not show up to the podcast.
Ask Mr. Bowles how he doing down there in Tampa.
On TP on his local show, I saw he done picked up some weight.
And I
know y'all gonna say I'm fat shaming. I'm not.
They about to be calling for his head.
Oh yeah.
They're about to be calling for his head because he was given the reins. Because he was given the reins to this team from a coach who won a Super Bowl. He wasn't fired. He gave the reins over, and y'all ain't even above 500. Okay, people gonna be on. They gonna be calling for neck. People want blood.
Mm-hmm. Especially them season ticket holders like Marlo.
Mm-hmm. Gotta blame somebody.
Heads will roll.
Look, what do we know when there's an issue at hand? Somebody will be blamed. There's always a scapegoat. Always.
They say shit roll downhill.
Mhm.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much